Hey pretty one, someone told me that you're being a bit confused and worried about some things. For example, when you open social media and you see that someone's getting engaged, someone's building their business, someone is doing their career, making 5 years plans, you can sit there and understand that I don't do anything. Why do they know what they want and I don't? Sometimes you can even think like, what's wrong with me? A little spoiler, there is nothing wrong with you. They just post things they want you to see. They don't post those things that make you feel connected. If someone's vulnerable, they don't tell about this, like in many cases, right? They prefer posting things when they look like 10 out of 10, when they're happy, when they achieve things, they are proud of that, maybe, most probably, and they want others to see how successful they are. But it doesn't mean that they get everything easily and so on, because yeah, you see an amazing cover, but it doesn't mean that it's all or their way they have. Their way is more complicated than you can see, and because you can see those struggles, because you can see those, let's say, problems, mistakes they do, you can say like their way is so perfect and I'm the one who isn't perfect. What's wrong with me? But those moments, they are normal. Being vulnerable, feeling like you're at your lowest, they are normal and they don't mean you're failing, right? So I'm gonna talk about this one. So let's be real. This system made us think like we have to have things figured out by 18 years old, right? At 16, you're supposed to know what kind of job you would like to do in future. At 20, you're supposed to choose career that is for you, and you are just a young person who doesn't even know themselves. And you have to take these decisions not even knowing yourself. And because you don't know those answers, because you don't have them, and because it's normal that you don't have them, but because this happens, you feel like you're a failure. In fact, imagine you are coming to 10 years old and you tell them like, choose what you should do in future in the next 20 years. Because they're 10 years old, they're so fucking scared because like, how can they make this decision? But for some reason, we have to do this. Also, another thing is being stuck isn't a problem. It's actually an amazing thing. One of the best things you can have in your life. You can feel stuck and be on the right path as well. You can hit this rock bottom and still rise higher than before. For example, J.K. Rowling. She was depressed, she was broke, she had, if I'm not being mistaken, a baby. So like she was a single mom and still writing Harry Potter in cafes. She got so many rejections, but yet Harry Potter is one of the best, in my opinion, movies that has ever been there. So being at your lowest, it doesn't mean that you are done. It's actually a place where you can start again. You have this power of trying again, and that's great. So yeah, sometimes being at your lowest is just a thing that you can start something even better, and you can change your life to even better version that you used to have. And you have to realize that being stuck means you aren't the same anymore. Many people are afraid of this. To be honest, I was afraid of this too, and I'm afraid sometimes as well. And this makes you confused. This makes you think like, I feel behind. Maybe my time is coming to an end, like maybe I'm not doing enough and maybe I will not achieve things. I will just fail as a human being. It's fine, like I have these thoughts as well. Every single person I know have these thoughts as well, because we are creatures that can be confused. So even if you feel like nothing is changing, you aren't the same. You aren't who you were 2 years ago. Sometimes growth is quiet, sometimes it's caring, sometimes you can feel like nothing's changing. In fact, everything's changing. Sometimes it can be, for example, new habits, better boundaries, and it doesn't mean that you aren't changing nothing, because now take a look at yourself, like you've changed. You have so many things now, and because of something becomes your normal thing, for example, your habit, right? You are getting used to it so that you forget how far you've come. We have the ideal growth dynamic when, for example, today we're being one person and tomorrow wake up as the other person, a completely different person. But that's not how it works. Real changes, they take time. And time between who you were and who you're becoming isn't just one day. So no, you aren't late. Nothing's wrong with you. You're great. You're just taking your time, because we have to, let's say, understand ourselves. And for this, we have to take some time. So many people starting again at 30 years old, at 40 years old, even at 50 and so on. And that's fine, that's perfect, because we have this pressure, like social pressure, that makes us think that we have to achieve certain things at some certain age, right? And when we have this pressure, we can think about things our heart wants, like our soul wants. So it's like we have to do some certain things for someone to feel something about us. But what about what you want? We kind of forget about this when we are trying to meet these standards, like social standards, about everything: our appearance, our thoughts, our actions, our goals. I know some people who want some luxury things just because they have this brand. When they get those things, they can feel something for some short period of time, but then they are coming back to normal. And what else you can think that you did something great, but in fact you don't have this feeling like you did something great. And that's the thing, like we have to take our time, we have to use some practices that can help us meet and understand and learn ourselves. And in this case, when we find our real path, we will achieve things that will truly make us happy. So, and I know that sometimes we can compare ourselves. For example, we can see some 18 years old, they get like luxury cars, houses, and so on. And you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with my life? Like, why don't I have this? And I'm at the age of, for example, 25, right? But the thing is, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different things, people around us, so surroundings, right? So some circumstances, they are different as well. So it's like we compare our result, our achievement with someone's, let's say, beginning. And that's the thing, like we grow up as different human beings, so we have different, let's say, opportunities as well. Like, let's be honest, because we tend to think what we see on social media, because we have this social proof, we think that it's normal, and just because we don't have this, our life isn't fine. And when we have what they have, we're gonna be happy. But no, like, let's be for real. You can get something because you think just because some other people have this, it's a thing that is necessary. In fact, it's not who you want to be, it's not what you want to have. So trying to get a thing will not please you, but because you feel this pressure, like I have to have this because they have this mindset, it might harm you, it might destroy you, it might really lose your time that you could have spent, for example, on trying to understand your real self. So take your time, take as much time as you need. Don't be afraid of taking those time offs, like those breaks and so on, because we tend to think like you had to be extra productive to get things, but in fact you just have to have your brain. In this case, you just have to understand what things are taking your time and give you no results, and what things can consume your time but give you a great result. Take the time, try to journal, try to learn new things, try to go for a walk, meet new people, talk to others, like just strangers, try to draw, to make something with your hands. I don't know, do every single thing you can, because some people would give everything to be as young as you, to have your time, free time, you know. Make this free time work for you, work in your favor. Inspire yourself with these actions, because when you see like, well, I'm kind of making my life more interesting, that's where you understand what's there that you want to try in your life. And that's how you come to that, let's say, success you kind of dream about. Change your perspective. If you understand like, well, I'm having this free time, watch something you wanted to watch for a long time but you kind of couldn't, take a book, read something new, go and work out. Maybe some spa things, maybe some workout things like fitness, calisthenics, I don't care. Maybe they will work for you. And that's when you kind of can find your real self, right? You will never find yourself until you try things, until you understand how you feel about certain things. So what you having this free time is a blessing, because you can try so many things and you cannot be afraid of failing, because like, why would you fail? You trying is you making steps to that life you want to have. So as soon as you try, as soon as you experience some things, as soon as you understand like, well, yeah, I love doing, like, for example, calisthenics, I loved cooking, that's something that is really there, that I have this, let's say, soft spot for. So as soon as you're experimenting, you can understand yourself, you can learn yourself, and you can understand like, yeah, actually this niche is for me, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna work here, I'm gonna work towards this specific career I can get in this niche, because yeah, why not? Because I love this. This can bring me money and some pleasure and some new connections. Why not? Isn't that perfect? Manage your time wisely, and you will see that something that is there, it's always waiting for you. You just have to make steps towards it, and nothing is wrong with you achieving things at a certain age. You don't have to achieve everything at the age of 25, and then you have to build family, and then you have to have like kids, your husband, you have to have perfect career, because like, let's be real, it's a huge thing to do. Not everyone can get this even at their 30s, even at their 40s. So like, why would you get this at your 20s? Don't be harsh on yourself and give you this time you need. That's where you will get to know your real self.